Across the world, different clinical settings, we observed that patients reported greater satisfaction with treatment, improved lifestyle, improved results with the health benefits when they had a higher trust in their healthcare professionals. The world needs people to do the services with compassion, and the pharmacists are the best group who are supporting the medical system with much kindness and tenderness. Especially during the time of this pandemic, pharmacists have played a key role in the supporting the healthcare system as a frontline warriors. We are proud to be a pharmacist. Their services are worth noting. The World Pharmacist Day is a celebration of services of those people in the healthcare system. As we all know, and the message sent by the B. Suresh, Dr. B. Suresh, President of PCI, trust cannot be bought or sold. It has to be earned, and we, the pharmacists, have earned the trust. With this brief introduction, I would like to start today's program, today's celebration. To start any program, it's evoke of tradition to start the Almighty, to take the Almighty blessings. So let us start the program by a prayer song. I request Dr. Jayaprakash sir to start a prayer song. Sir, please start a prayer song. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. V. Alagarsamy sir, Principal, MNR College of Pharmacy, to give a welcome address. Please, sir. Principal, sir.
Yes, madam. Thank you, Dr. Visakha. Am I audible?
Yeah,
yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
You are audible.
Good morning, all the viewers, especially the most respected professional and the distinguished academician and industrially successful pharmacist who came as a chief guest of this today's World Pharmacist Day celebration, Dr. Ravi Shankar, who was an academician. Now he is working as a vice president in the WOCAD Pharma Limited. And our chairman, Sri M.N. Raju Garu, vice chairman Sri Ravi Verma Garu, all the faculty members and the budding pharmacists, I welcome one.
Sir, you are not audible, sir. Principal, sir.
Sorry for the interruption. So on behalf of MNR College of Pharmacy faculty members, students and staff, we welcome one and all who have joined to this World Pharmacist Day celebration. In this day, we have planned to invite the eminent from the pharma professional so that the budding pharmacists can get the inspiration from the pharma professionals. Every year, the profession of pharmacy is progressing. Even the COVID pandemic, the profession of pharmacy has been grown up well, and all the pharmacies are very well earned, are very well paid, are very well got the respect in this pandemic. That shows the progress of the profession. And in this day, we have invited the pharma professional, Dr. Ravi Shankar, because he is one of the inspiration to many of the students and the faculty members and the colleagues who are working with him, one of the hard worker and he proved himself in the industries. So let us listen from the eminent. I don't want to take much time in this August time. So we'll have a best inspirational words from our chief guest today. So with these few words, I welcome one and all again to this World Pharmacist Day celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your welcome address. Now, I request Mr. M. Ramesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacology, to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. S. Ravi Shankar. Sir. Ramesh, sir, over to you, sir.
First of all, a good morning, very good morning, all of you, on this auspicious World Pharmacists Day. And here, I'm very thankful to our management, our chairman, MN Raju Garu, and vice chairman, Ravi Varma Garu, and our dynamic principal, Alagarsamy Garu, and our chief guest, Dr. Ravi Shankar Sir, and dear faculty, and my dear student friends, very warm welcome to this auspicious World Pharmacists Day, having theme, always trusted for your health. And here, our chief guest, Dr. Ravi Shankar Sir. So, sir, can you open the slide? Yeah, thank you. Dr. Ravi Shankar Sir.
Ramesh sir, you are not audible, sir.
Sir has been working for the past 4 years as a vice chairman in pharmacokinetics and biopharmaceutics in Work Hard in Research and Development Center, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Sir has done his Ph.D. from Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai. And Sir has completed Masters in Pharmacy from BITS, Ranchi from 1987 to 1989. Sir has done MBA as well from Bharatiya University, India. And Sir completed Bachelor in Pharmacy from Madras Medical University, Chennai, 1982-1986. And Sir has achieved Career Young Teacher Award by AICTE for various international and national conferences and publication contribution. And Sir also a famous author for analysis book, that is pharmaceutical analysis. So everybody is really aware of that. I just show you the pic later on. And he is also a co-author for chaptering Indian regulatory requirements for BA studies in generic drug product development. And Sir also contributed national and international. Yes, sir. You can move on to the next slide. International and national journal publications around 282. And Sir also a certified trainer on GCP and GLP techniques. And Sir contributed around 110 contributions in the conferences, and particularly key areas are bioanalytical, bioequivalence, and method validation, particularly in APA, PBA, BioBio, and NL. And Sir has hosted various international audits like FDA, EMA, MHRA, WHO, MOH, and Visa, and for particularly ANDA filing. And total Sir has 29 years experience. Out of that, he is also a faculty of pharmacy in JSS College of Pharmacy, and Sir worked as QA HOD in Aurobindo Pharma and also QA director in GVK Bio. So this is regarding various fields Sir has experience. And coming with the famous book, so I just want to share a small story regarding with that. So when I finished my B Pharmacy, actually I supposed to attend an interview in Aurobindo Pharma. Then actually I didn't have that book, but I borrowed just 300 rupees from my friend. I went to Koti and I got this book, and I was selected in Aurobindo Pharma after my B Pharmacy. Thank you, sir. So that concise book, really, it's an awesome book. So you are more famous for this book. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. I'd like to over to you for this Old Pharmacist Day speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for introduction. Now I request Dr. S. Ravi Shankar, sir, to address the gathering, sir. Ravi Shankar, sir, please.
Yeah. Good morning to all of you. First of all, thanks very much for inviting me on this Pharmacist Day. And first of all, when Dr. Alagarsamy approached, so I was hesitant to talk because it was at a short notice. And then he was luring that, okay, you are the right person to talk on this Pharmacist Day. The theme being, you can say, pharmacy, always trusted for your health. Am I audible, first of all?
Yes, sir, you are
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thanks. So thanks to Dr. Alagar for giving me the opportunity, and respected Sri M.N. Rajugaru, Chairman, and Sri Ravi Verma, Vice Chairman, and all the staff of College of Pharmacy, and all the budding pharmacists at a UG level or PG level or Pharm.D or doctorate. So wish you all a happy Pharmacist Day to begin with. When Dr. Alagar was mentioning about that, what topic to give, because there are a number of topics to give. Because as I move forward, the slides, you will know it is very vast. It is not as what the public thinks, like pharmacists hand over them, dispenses medicine. That's not the only aspect of a pharmacist. And there really, when you go into the industry, you will know there are multiple roles. So then he said, okay, just not the technical topic. You just give only on how you're transformed from an academician to an industrial researcher. So we thought, let me give a brief history. So although it's not, I can say that is the only thing to have that. Maybe sometimes when you see from movies also you get inspired. But from a practical pharmacist, so everybody's journey is different, and none of them are, you can say, matching with others. So therefore, it's unique. So each one has a unique story. So to begin with, instead of talking about myself, I thought let me talk about the scope as in general about pharmacy, which you might have known through Google and other media. But just to give, you are in one of the fortunate industries. So where you can say, it's a pink revolution, we say, and it's an evergreen industry, or in terms of financial, they say it's a evergreen industry. So there is no recession to pharma, because always some activity keeps on going as long as human beings are there. It is very important to maintain the health. So therefore, like food, you have to consume medicines indirectly or directly for various ailments. So therefore, the pharma industry by itself is a huge industry with the innovator and generic brands. And the global generic industry size is about 352 billion. It's a huge number. And currently, 2021, it's about 533 billion. Now, to give what our Indian figure to that. So for domestic pharma, it's about 42 billion in 2021, approximate estimates, which is equal to about 3,15,000 crores. It's a huge amount. Of course, when compared to some in IT industry, it is very small, but compared to healthcare, yes, it's one of the big industries. And we export about USD 25 billion to various countries. Like at the next slide, here I have written to US or to UK or European, because now there is a bifurcation there. And then Australia, Canada, these are all some developed markets. But not only to developed markets, we are exporting to rest of the world also. One is domestic consumption, and these are regulated markets. Sometimes they are unregulated markets or semi-regulated, we can say. You can't say unregulated, it's a semi-regulated markets. So, which means this is going to grow continuously. That means that we talk about growth every year. So from last year to this year, or this year to next year, there is always a continuous growth of, you can say, formulations as well as bulk drugs. And recently, we would have read in papers or media that not only formulations. So even bulk drugs, we have been doing a little bit less. Now, due to some changes in the policies, government policies and encouragement, we'll be doing much more in bulk drugs also, bulk drugs and intermediates. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. Now, the variety of jobs and careers I'll just talk about in the subsequent slides. But these aspects you might be knowing and your colleagues must be knowing. Like you have different levels of academics. To begin with, you have, of course, I didn't write the diploma level, and which they go as a community pharmacist or in the medical shops. That's at the diploma level. Then comes your UG level, that is your B.Pharm. And UG level, which sometimes you have value-added courses. Now I think it was not there previously, whereas now you have a lot of other courses which you can add as a value adding to your basic degree, like postgraduate diplomas or clinical research programs. You have 6 months or 1 year or even less than that. You have clinical research programs. And then you have pharmacovigilance programs or medical writing, or even sometimes SAS programming. There are some law courses. So where you talk about the intellectual property management. So all these courses add to your basic degree. Because normally, as you know, the number of colleges are more, number of students graduating are more. So therefore, you need a type of differentiation. So how do you have the differentiation? If you see, it is not possible to have all these things in your 4 years curriculum. So therefore, what is done out of that? Because everybody, if they read all the topics, they cannot choose that branch. So therefore, after you finish the course, these are the things which you narrow down to a particular specialization. Because if you learn everything, it will not be applicable to a particular job. So therefore, you take up a particular course, differentiate yourself, and then present it during interviews so that there is a clear flow of what you're going to do. So otherwise, apart from UG level, you have other post graduations like your MBA. MBA also with specialization, multiple specializations are there. So there also you can take up. This is another avenue. That means in terms of your academic levels. And these are common, like PG level with pharmacy with different specializations. Based upon the colleges, you have multiple branches. Again, your Pharm.D level and your doctorate levels. So these are the various academic levels where you position yourself to meet the demanding requirements of, say, could be industry or any field. Okay, can you just move on to the next? Yeah. So since the topic given to me was that, so I just gave some background on what exactly are the various academic levels and the size of industry overall throughout the globe, and what is the size of Indian pharma industry, what about your exports and what about your imports, and generally where you can fit into it. Now here comes the confusion. For example, if you are given only one dish to eat, it's easy. There's nothing to think about it and you take it. But when you go to buffet, you have always a problem that you have multiple things and what is to be done. Because anything will fulfill your desires. There's nothing like one is right, the other one is wrong. No, nothing like that. So therefore, that always used to be there. Even when I completed my degree, there were no jobs. Because now people say, sir, now there are more colleges, more students, there are no jobs. No, that's a sentence not to be used at all. So how? Let me explain to you. So at that time when I passed also the same story. Oh, there was no jobs. Maybe there'll be 1 or 2 vacancies here and there. So it's very difficult to fill into an industry or somewhere. And naturally, freshers are not always desired. So everywhere you need experience. Only thing was media was not there to that extent, or now free, or there is no such LinkedIn those times. I mean, 30, 40 years ago. Whereas now you have everything. So therefore, I started teaching because out of passion, I started teaching at the UG level and then teaching at the PG level. And out of my interest, in fact, although my education was on informed chemistry, so the first year itself, Dr. B. Suresh, so I was reporting him, he was the principal, and he gave me a special opportunity to take care of instrumentation laboratory. Because, instruments, when you see labels be proper, sometimes the instrument may not work. So if there are 10 instruments, do you think that all 10 will be working at a time? Generally, this is a problem faced in several institutions or organizations. So which you are using every day, it will be made to use. But when you are not using every day, naturally some instruments tend to go off. So therefore, what I did, every instrument I made to work, and those days there is no procedures. Therefore, I made a work instructions. It's called as work instructions, or you may call it as STP, SOPs kind of thing. Those days we made a SOP for each of the thing, how to operate, because otherwise what you do, you go on pressing every button in the instrument till you get it right? Because we don't read the manual first and then operate the instrument. So therefore, what I did, I made a very short procedure, and that way, in a even simple college level, we had work instructions to operate every instrument. So in that way, then I was given an independent charge of analytical laboratory. So that's why we've grown this laboratory into almost equal to a laboratory which is in the industry. That means in terms of operation, in terms of calibration, in terms of maintenance. So what different maybe industries might be doing right now. So we're doing around 30 years back. Therefore, the concept of optimizing the process, we started at the time itself. And those were the days that ICH guidelines came. So we applied those principles of validation of analytical methods to, you can say, various formulations we just took it at that time, which were new in the market. And that way, that we got an opportunity to get our laboratory approved as a drug testing laboratory. Because previously there was a small scale industry and a testing lab was there, and due to some reason became non-functional. So at that time, since we had a lot of analytical instruments, there was a request from industry association. Why don't you, this much big facility you have in JSS, why don't you start this? So then we started this drug testing laboratory, which is approved by the regulatory authorities. Then we started testing for all these essential oils. You know, Ooty is famous for your eucalyptus oil and various kinds of different essential oils, which are either domestically used or even exported. So that way we tested this drug testing laboratory for only specific compounds. Now, after that came some bigger opportunity. And even right now, I think the medicines which are being supplied to various medical college hospitals. So it comes from a centralized purchase process. So those tablets or injections or capsules, so we have got the opportunity to test them and certify them. Because when the industries, they do it, they have a certificate of analysis. But still, it's like a third party. We have to test those things. And whether are they meeting IP, BP, or USP requirements, we have to do the testing. So then we specialize in that laboratory. So by this way, we were using not only from teaching, but some of the postgraduate students who were interested, they also work part-time this laboratory. And myself and my colleagues, we were the analysts for that laboratory. So like this, we developed that into a full-fledged testing laboratory. Not only testing laboratory, we were doing for other manufacturers where they intend to export to Nigeria. So that organization, we were approved. Therefore, we took samples, and once we clear that, then only it can be imported into Nigeria. That means any industry from India. So that way we expanded our role to not only to local industries, but to industries all over the country. First to Tamil Nadu, then even other industries. Of course, in the southern zone we were taking care. Then that expanded our scope again. And you know, like JSS, at that time, we had a lot of facilities in multiple departments. And everybody started showing interest. That means every HOD started showing interest. Okay, these are our capabilities. So can we do it? So then we started like contract research. So let's say animal studies, toxicological studies, stability studies. So not only analytical, then that led to even a little bit advanced one called as bioequivalence studies. So which means just imagine about bioequivalence studies in the early 90s. So there were hardly very few in the country to do bioequivalence, other than a couple of labs which are doing commercially. So that way we expanded our scope, and then we became very busy. In the sense, you know, what is the charm in academics is that you get a summer vacation and a winter vacation. Whereas what has happened when we became so busy, we were like industry. So we never had vacation because every day counts, and every day you get samples, you have to analyze, you do bioequivalence studies on this side, you do contract research projects for industry. We also did some training programs and conferences for industry, because normally it used to be other way. The industry trains the academics. So at those times we were doing the reverse. So for some of the analytical techniques or even other small programs we used to do, it is for the training to industries. So at that level we were there. And of course, we were supported by some key eminent people we had in our panel or with some contacts. In fact, one of my mentor I have to mention here is Dr. Rajnikant Raja. So he was, I can say, he's from London. So he worked in MNC companies, and he used to mentor us on some of the aspects. So it's not purely technical alone, but he built in the confidence what we have and developed our, you can say, technical or non-technical capabilities to achieve all this. So then this became our routine. That means to do all this, you can say, commercial research. So once we did this, then I got an opportunity to shift to industry. So normally, if you have a CV without experience, it's very difficult to go to industry. And especially when you have a CV with a background only in a college, might be the other colleges will take, but not the industry. But since we were at a higher technical level and the execution level, as well as you can say on par with the other you can say counterparts or peers, you can say other laboratories. So I got an opportunity in Aurobindo Pharma, which I think Ramesh was mentioning. So that way our career shifted. Therefore, what's key thing is that at every stage of, you can say, could be teaching or drug testing or research or anything. So learning is very key thing. It means keep learning continuously, because always we feel that once we finish the exam, we think that's over. So after the exam, I need not study. So, but when you go to industry, you have to study every day. So every moment, so every half day or every time, you have to keep studying, keep learning. So that's your exam. You are fortunate that in college you have only exams on specific days, and more of that is only announced once. Whereas here, every day is an exam, and every day you have to pass also. Because if you fail it, then you have, of course, there will be errors. That's a different issue. But you keep learning and keep growing. So this is in brief about. I don't want to tell more about myself. So just only for to get a glimpse of what has happened, just I was briefing. So let me go to the key learnings. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So in fact, I told you the rosy picture one side, but of course, there are some elements you have to add to this to get it. So what are those elements? At each level, reach your best. Whichever subject you are teaching or whichever job you are doing, reach your best at that level. So unless you reach that stage, because everybody is a pharmacist, everybody is doing a particular line. So how do you do that? So you become a master in what you are doing. That's why I put the first thing as reach your best at each level. If you are a lecturer, you have to be the best lecturer. If you're an assistant professor, you have to be the best assistant professor. If you're a pharmacist, you have to be the best. So whatever you do, just reach the level. And then followed by constant updation. So whatever knowledge is coming in that area, just keep updating. That's one thing. The other one is upgradation. Upgradation is to next level. Because a few years ago, no Android phone was there. So we had only phones with buttons. But now there is no button. So totally it's an Android. And the methodology of operation is different. But still, out of necessity, we achieved a stage. Now, same thing, like for example, this video conferences. It was never thought of. It's a luxury if you want to arrange. But now even at school level, this is being done, either a Zoom or Microsoft Team meeting or Google. You have plenty of options now. So which was never thought of before. Because of COVID, now we are forced to do that. But here, what I'm saying is that without any external forces, you try to do on your own. It is not that external factors to drive you towards upgradation. So keep updating yourself with a particular knowledge in a specific field. And keep exploring new opportunities at any point of time. There's nothing like saturation. Because sometimes when people say, sir, everything is done by others, what will I do? No, always look for how you can do the same job in a different way. So that makes it. It doesn't give you a fruit immediately, but takes time to get into new opportunities. So keep exploring and then add additional qualifications always. It could be formal or informal process. In fact, when I told you the levels of jobs, in fact, I didn't write in this slide. So I studied my diploma in pharmacy. I thought that's my life. That's it. But from there, I just went to a graduation, then additional qualifications. then PG, then PG in MBA, and then PhD. So it was a continuous process. Even now also I'm learning some of the courses I enroll and then keep doing it. So there are very short courses, but you want to keep going. Yes, these are required. So you can't stop anywhere. So therefore, what is general is that what I've told you regarding technical aspects. Coming to non-technical, you need the attitude to learn and grow. So if you don't learn, then you don't grow. So then again, you can't go back to the old mobile phone where you have these numbers. So therefore, same way here also, you have to learn and grow and develop a successful mindset. So always when you take it up, for people with a negative attitude, what happens? If failure happens, what will you do? Because just imagine my pressure when I shifted from academic to industry. Because industry is not, I mean, of course, it's not like academics that we know. But the thing is, moment to moment or minute to minute, you have to prove yourself. So therefore, not only at that level, required level, you want to be number one, you have to prove much more than that. So therefore, that success mindset is very important. If you are afraid, then it is not possible to do it. You can always do it. And somebody else can do it, why you cannot do? Therefore, they are not special. So therefore, it is always possible. Just have the mindset, positive mindset that yes, you can achieve success. You will do it. And of course, you need somebody to inspire you continuously and mentoring. So, mentoring is nothing but a person who constantly guides you and who knows you very well about strengths and weakness and keeps guiding you and giving you suggestions. So you need some mentors to do that in a particular field. And the most important thing is the change management. That's my favorite thing. So unless you have a change management concept, you can't bring in anything. It is like when you do the same thing again and again, you can't expect a different result. So when you want a different result, first thing is to change yourself and change the things around you or change the philosophies. So unless you bring a change, you cannot get a different result. So therefore, this is not technical nature in non-technical terms also. Unless you have change management in place, you'll not be able to grow. And of course, these are other things like leadership and communication skills. They are general. So whichever field, it could be pharmacists in academics or industry. So these are common skills which are to be done. And you take time to grow because all these things do not happen in a day or in a very less time. So because the movies are very short and they have to show within 2 hours, 3 hours, you see a person grows fast. That doesn't happen in the real life example. Therefore, you take time to grow. And as a budding pharmacist, what are the different options available you want to go? Because since the options are more, you have to choose very clearly what is matching with your strength. Because, for example, we have a word marketing. So some people like to travel and some people like to talk well. So therefore, some people, they fit into marketing. For example, a person with very curious mindset or some creative skills, so they get into NC or drug discovery process. And for example, a process-oriented person gets into APR bulk drug. That means you can standardize the process, synthesize by another new route, or cut down the cost, or with reduced impurities. So all these things which have a different mindset. So formulations, of course, these are different areas which I'll tell you in detail. So different kinds of formulations you can go, like oral solid, capsules, parenterals, or new drug delivery systems. There are plenty of varieties of formulations. Therefore, each one is a niche in itself. Therefore, you can develop your expertise in each one of them. And again, a new budding thing is your CRAMS or CROs. So previously it was not there. Of course, for manufacturing, we used to use the word third-party manufacturing, but now it has got a new name. That's CRAMS. That means contract research and manufacturing services. So that means whatever the big pharma companies are doing, or even others, we can have as a separate companies. So where they manufacture not for themselves, but only for others. So that's a new line of business. There are different companies now coming up, and they've established also. And CROs, again, CROs nothing but contract research organizations. So there were hardly very few initially, but now you have plenty of CROs at different levels in the sense for clinical studies, for pharmacovigilance, for medical writing, for SAS programming, So therefore, plenty of opportunities exist in CROs, CRAMS as well as CROs. And now the era of biologicals, moving from small molecules to large molecules, you can say monoclonal antibodies or even insulins by various methodologies. So these are all called as biologics. They are large in size, huge size compared to our routine molecules. Then of course, you have the standard one, academia and community pharmacists, hospital pharmacists. So these are the various careers where you can fit in. But to understand that, these are nothing but various, you can say, avenues. Now, where again, where will you fit in? So if you ask, it's very difficult to answer. But again, I'll give you another background on an industry. What are the different major categories of industry you work here? As given in the previous slides, you have CRAMS, CROs, or companies who are totally doing on biotech, biologicals, like for example, Biocon. So like there are different companies and drug discovery companies. So in India, you don't have drug discovery companies directly, but there are some, you can say, CROs who are into this drug discovery business, which are being done for others. So that is for the top 10 innovator companies in the world. So like for example, it could be Pfizer or Merck or GSK, or you can just name them. So for them, the actual contract research work is done in India. Therefore, multiple organizations use those facilities. So therefore, there is avenue here also, because previously for some time it was there, and after a failure of some of the molecules, nobody ventured much into that, except for doing for other companies. That means for global companies. So that way we have different CROs on drug discovery or new chemical entities. And of course, this is a recent development is that we were strong in APIs and bulk drugs, but in between, again, due to shift in China concepts, China was offering the bulk drugs and limited at a cheaper price than India. Of course, we were only providing the technologies for several companies. But then now, due to recent change in policies, once again, this will be much more in favor. So therefore, definitely we see a whole growth in this area, API and bulk drugs, intermediates. And formulation is already always there, but previously it was there only for domestic, but now again, it is being done for various countries, as I told you, because they are the key for the future. That means different delivery systems. Yeah, can we go to next? And these things you have at multiple levels. Can you go back to? Okay. Yeah. So next slide. Yeah. Now in these industries, when you see there itself, there are various kinds of job opportunities. What are the different jobs in each of the industry? When you see, either you can be in a production, or a quality control, or a quality assurance, or research. That means research for each of the circles I've written. So research is there on each of the things. So, and again, on marketing, of course, marketing also again, it relates to specific industries. Not just everyone markets only for formulations. So there are marketing opportunity for bulk drugs also, marketing opportunities in discovery, biological, and CRAMS. So therefore, each industry by itself has a multiple functions, which means there are nothing but the various opportunities available. So therefore, you want to get into that, and you have to develop some additional value-added courses. That is going to help you. Yeah, can we go to next slide? Yeah, I myself is an analyst, so I thought let me give you different stages in the same profile. So where the analyst plays a role. Again, it depends upon some of the person's skill. Some of the people have skills on method development. That means you have to develop the method for estimation of the drug, or estimation of metabolites, or estimation of impurities. So therefore, some people have very good skills in method development, and some people will be able to do in the method validation as well as routine analysis. Because once the method is developed and it is standard, you have to run the same method for hundreds or thousands of samples. So therefore, here automation is required here. But of course, once this method is developed and validated, then you run for routine analysis in hundreds or thousands. So therefore, some people have a skill in that also. So therefore, in analytical itself, you have careers at different levels. Okay, yeah, can you go to next? Yeah, this again, if you say analyst is very strong in some methodology. So which methodology? But again, we've got various instruments, various analytical techniques. Some of the things you know commonly like HPLC, GC, other chromatography techniques, or hyphenated techniques, Of course, these are a little bit expensive. Normal colleges cannot have. Very few colleges have this. Hardly few colleges. And of course, once you learn the concept, then when you join, then you become an expert, because each instrument costs from 1.5 to 2 crores or even more. So therefore, colleges cannot afford to have that. But you can have a strong theory background, and then once you start in, slowly after years, then you'll be given a chance to operate those. So it could be these hyphenated techniques, or you can XRD or NMR, some thermal methods, or LCMS methods. So therefore, any one of this normally develop expertise. It is not possible for one person to learn every instrument and operate, but you become expert in specific instruments. So where your skill set are very, very important once you have to develop it. You understand it and develop it. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So again, a similar kind of thing. In formulations, again, when you take it up, again, what are the various avenues we see? Even formulation itself, you have production or QA, QC, and R&D, and as well as regulatory efforts. All this time I didn't added the regulatory efforts. And there also you have specialists who are purely handling specific products. Because for example, regulatory efforts, a person can be strong in parenterals, and the regulatory efforts person to do with controlled drug delivery systems or simple solid orals. So therefore different categories are there, and that is as a formulation based. Whereas sometimes there also again, if it is a bulk drug, you file a DMF, drug master file. So in case of formulations, again if you see, then you file an NDA or ANDA or supplemental ANDA. So likewise, if you see for each of the things, biologicals again, regulatory efforts is separate. So therefore, regulatory efforts doesn't mean that it's only one person, but again, subspecialties are there. So where the person specializes in any one of these areas, not all the areas, in one of the areas, so that becomes an expert in that area. Yeah, go to the next slide. Yeah. So therefore here you have seen, I give you a brief background, not much in detail, but just give you on different industries. So I gave initially on education level, then I gave you overall picture about the industry and various kinds of jobs or roles what you have. And now if you ask me as a student, sir, which one I should do it, or which job is the best one? Now it is not possible to have comparison of one versus other, because each one is very, very important, and therefore every job is unique, and one size doesn't fit all. So therefore, based upon your interest, and definitely it is possible to develop partial skill set additionally and then be successful. So therefore, any one person can take each of the area, and therefore he can be successful. So personally, I would like to thank you all for the opportunity and wish you all the best, and be very happy and successful in your area. It is not possible to be successful in all the areas, but you can be successful in the area which you wish to take. So that's in brief about the overall this one. And we can move to, I think these are some of the things which Mr. Ramesh has told on left hand side. That book, Pharmaceutical Analysis, that is not there now, right now. It's almost discontinued. And the other two, it is there for 7th and 8th semester, recently I've released. 8th semester book was Advanced Instrumentation Techniques, and Instrumental Methods, this for 7th semester. In fact, I have pleasure in, you can say, presenting to you, because this is the first time in a public forum. So I'm releasing this book, Center 1, that is Instrumental Methods of Analysis. So thank you very much for all the patients listening, and if you can take some questions, yes, I'll be happy to take.
Thank you very much, sir.
You can go back
Thank you very much.
You can write to, yeah, you can just mail to me in case of any feedback or suggestions, which I always think a constant source of encouragement. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your journey, sharing your thoughts, and guiding the budding pharmacists as well as the academicians who joined here through virtual platform. Thank you very much. Now, sir, this forum is open for the discussion. So I request all the participants to join and get guidance from Professor, Professor and Dr. S. Ravishankar, sir, by interacting with him. I request all the participants kindly wait till one query is answered. You can raise your hand and unmute
So, madam, you are not audible, madam. Unmute and talk, madam.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your thoughts and sharing your journey with us, all the budding pharmacists as well as the academicians. Now I request all the participants to join the forum. This forum is open for all the participants for the discussion and for interaction with the Dr. S. Ravisankar, sir. So I request all the participants kindly wait till one query is answered. So you can raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask the query. Yes, Ravishankar, sir, the forum is open for the discussion, sir. So participants can will ask you the queries. Yes, participants can raise their hands, so we can unmute you.
I'd like
Good morning,
to.
sir.
Madam.
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Dr. Pratibha. Sir, regarding biologics, is audible, sir? Sir,
Audible. Yeah.
is I'm audible, sir?
Yeah, audible.
Sir.
Yeah.
Regarding biologics, yeah, sir. So good morning, sir. Regarding biologics, what are companies that are coming with API, sir?
In fact, I don't have a list, but if you see, Hyderabad is a hub, you can say, in terms of bulk drugs. So there are plenty of industries in Hyderabad as well as Vizag. So there are multiple areas where they have that. If you look into some directories itself, you will get it. So they are from organized sector to you can say unlisted companies. So there are some listed companies as well as unlisted companies which deal in bulk drugs as well as intermediates. So you can say N-1 step. Sometimes, I mean, as a India, we may not do all the steps. So sometimes only one step -1. That means that is also done. So there are a number of companies. So especially the medicine chemistry team, I think you can pitch in there. In fact, that way I would suggest you should take some projects based on that. But sometimes we do the same thing routine. But what happens, there is something called as process optimization. So therefore, for example, for a particular method, you get some 80% yield. You develop and make it 90% yield. So 10%, if you see increase itself, that's a huge cost. So likewise, there are enough opportunities. That is one. Or maybe alternate route to synthesize, having lesser impurities. So therefore, any area you take is a golden area, I would say.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Next question, please, Ramesh.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, what I observed in pharma industry, so when we are doing analysis, every time unknown peaks are common and we are unable to answer, as well as sometimes we're unable to control. Particularly, I felt like extreme pressure. So how to reduce number of unknown peaks, as well as how to deal with the extreme pressure when we are unable to answer any new product like that while we are in analysis. So how to reduce the unknown peaks, as well as how to handle the pressure. These are my questions.
I think it's a open question. It's very difficult to answer. So are you talking about the formulations which you are doing analysis in your laboratory?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Formulations.
Yeah. But I think you need to do some characterization, because, for example, when we use an analytically by HPLC, it may be analytical HPLC or DLC, whichever is that. Now, sometimes you may get peaks which are not reported as per the pharmacopy or something. So therefore, you have to identify that, because unless you identify, you don't know. And as an analyst, your role is not to reduce the impurities. See, you can only quantify the specific drug as well as specific impurity. That is what, as an analyst, you can do. And you can't think of reducing the impurity. Reducing the impurities, the person who is manufacturing the bulk drug or a person doing the formulation, that is one way. The other one is, in your extraction method, you have to be selective in extracting your drug, not the impurities. I would not say the impurity, which is not required. Why should you extract? So therefore, you have to be selective in extraction, number one. But when impurity is present, then you can't avoid it. Naturally, you have to quantify it.
Yes.
Because by chromatographic method, sometimes you may match the peaks, but that's not your goal. So the goal is to identify the major components. That is number one, and to limit the quantity of impurities below the pharmacopoeial limits, individual impurity and the total impurities. So therefore, that's not the analyst role to reduce it. No.
Thank you.
Right. So therefore, a person who is giving to analysis and is saying extra picks are there, that is for him to come up with the reason why extra picks are available. That means the process he would have used a wrong process, or
Yes.
some other solvents or materials he has used wrongly, so that he's getting extra picks. So that way. So that's the answer. I don't know whether I was able to answer to your point.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You
Thank
got
you
it?
so much. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next question, Lokesh sir.
Good morning, sir. I'm Dr. Lankeshwar Rao. Sir, my question is, how can we differentiate standard generics to a low-level generic drugs? How can we identify? As we have seen, many of the companies are producing the same combinations of drugs. We differentiate the standard because based upon the all the therapeutic equivalency when compared with the standard drug, how can we differentiate in the market the standard drugs, standard generics?
Okay. So can I rephrase the question? That means you want to differentiate between the available generic by different manufacturers. You want to differentiate which is of good quality, which is not good quality, right?
As such.
Okay. But who has to do it? That's the point. So, like for example, as a consumer, so can he do it? Because he cannot do it. Okay.
No, sir.
So as a technical person, as a pharmacist, can we do it? So we
Yes.
can't do it because the cost of doing the testing is very much. So the cost of the tablet is very low. But when you want to do all the tests and compare the 10 different brands, it is not possible to compare. That's why you have IP or BP or whichever specifications you have. So when you have a specification, when they are not meeting, then you can't do anything about it because we don't have any control. Maximum we may report to only drug control authority.
Yes, sir.
So we can't do anything about that because it originates from the bulk drug itself or by the process. So this is the reason why when you see when you have drugs for export purpose, they have very clear specifications at every level. That means at the quality control level, at the dissolution level, then the manufacturing process level, and bioequivalence. For local generics, you don't have bioequivalence. That's a big fault within India when you take it. So everybody is not doing bioequivalence. The innovator, who comes to the market initially, he does it. And any drug which is coming after 4 years, that exemption is there. So there is nobody is doing bioequivalence for drugs which are older than 4 years. So therefore, with set of rules, then several companies do not do bioequivalence. What is in the Indian market? Might be in future this can come, and these specifications become stringent, and then we will see that there is no difference between one generic and another generic. Till that time, yes, there will be difference. That's again a practice of different, you can say, industry. So that's why we prefer a known brand rather than a generic one. When you technically know. Just imagine, you can say, common public. So how they will know about quality of drugs? We ourselves we do not know. So how they will know? That's the problem which we face nowadays. It will take years of time. Then our regulatory also will be stringent at every level, and then it can become equal. So as a pharmacist, it's difficult to judge.
Yes, sir, that's the reason, sir. Because nowadays, it has so many companies are producing the drugs.
Yeah.
And one more question, sir.
Sure.
Based upon your suggestion, whether to go with the generic drugs or branded drugs, when we prescribe or when we get the prescription. So based, as you said, that it depends upon the physician advisor.
Actually, it's very difficult to comment on. See, without the estimating, actually, as a neutral person, I cannot comment on the quality of the product before testing, just by only the name. Right. So, for example, we are all pharmacists, therefore, we know about the top 10 or top 20 pharma companies in India. So, you go by a brand name, right? That means by the company name. Assume that company X is doing, so you go by that. But what about the other regulators, let's say within India or outside India? Do they go by a brand name? No. So they go by they take the samples. Sometimes they test in their lab and they check the assay, dissolution, impurities, everything. Then they judge whether it is of good quality or not. So as long as it is done, we know where to stand. So we have to accept as a neutral way.
One more small question, sir. Sir, can we the branded company, the companies which is producing the branded drugs, they are also producing some generics, no, sir? Can we prefer that? Some companies are like generic drugs they are producing. Can we
No,
prefer?
same company don't do both the branded and generics.
Don't know.
Yeah, they don't do, or maybe they're doing for only bulk quantities. For example, when you have 10s or 20s or 30s, you'll have some packs. But some people, you see, they used to supply for hospitals and all. So they're the same ingredient only. There is no change in ingredient. It is only packing is different. So in that case, when we require large quantity, definitely it is same. It will not be different. But only thing is, what happens with reference to various countries, the regulations are slightly different. For example, in terms of specific impurity, or in terms of some of the tests, in terms of some of the it could be dissolution requirements or impurity levels. So there could be difference. For example, one pharmacopoeia says the limits are assay limits are from 90 to 110. So another one says 95 to 105. And for some drugs, it is 90 to 105. So therefore, there is a difference in the assay content for different compounds. I mean, different molecules. So therefore, if it is not suitable, it's not meeting one requirement, the company has a choice to market to another regulations where it is acceptable one. So as per one standard, it is not meeting, whereas another standard it is meeting. So therefore, there is no harm in doing that. It is not going to create the harm. But once the rule is set, the respective country follows that. So in that sense, the quality is same. Quality doesn't change.
Thank you, sir.
Only the specification changes.
Thank you for your patience.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Shiv Prasad.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, my name is myself, Dr. Shiv Prasad Sagli, sir. Sir, my question is, can you suggest any companies or any pharmaceutical company, pharmaceutical organizations or colleges which are offering some of the good certificate courses which will accepted by the industry, sir? Because now so many organizations, they are providing certificate courses, but they are not accepted by all the companies. What they are saying that these certificate courses are not useful to you. Once you are getting to the job, then only your courses are that courses are useful. That is my question, sir. Can you suggest any colleges or any companies really they are providing some of the certificate courses?
Okay. So honestly, I don't know about specific institute or organization where it is recognized, because there is nothing like somebody has to recognize. For example, if you see IIMs, they don't give you a master's course; they give you only postgraduate diploma. But still, everybody recognizes. So it is based upon the quality. Therefore, if the organization provides you the best quality education, and which is reflected in the talent of the students, naturally they start recognizing. So therefore, it is not like government course where there is a notification, okay, everybody has to recognize. No, it is not possible. So as long as the quality of the students are fine. So like, for example, can you tell me that MNR College accepts lecturers or students from this college only? Do you have any certification process? No. So based upon your experience, if some colleges, you get good quality teachers, naturally you say that you have an impression that, okay, I can take teachers from this college. The students are very good. So that way, it's over a period of time, it is established. There is no specific body to approve or recognize these kind of courses, because these are like short-term courses. But this has got some edge with you. For example, when somebody is applying for interview, and these will help you only. So that's not the ultimate. So maximum they can test you during interview by giving few case studies or some specific questions. But actually, when you prove only in your job, that matters. So therefore, this is how it works. So there's nothing like recognition, because sometimes there were some institutes conducting some clinical research courses. Now they're not conducting, or they're not having that much demand. So demand is reduced. So this is only to have some little bit of edge. For example, same guy B.Pharm with clinical research diploma, another guy only B.Pharm applies to the same job. So naturally, it is possible that person gets the edge with the qualification. It is not that recognition, but there is an edge. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your answer. B.S. Rao, sir. B.S. Rao, raise the hand. Okay. Ms. Priti Anil.
Good morning, sir. My name is Preeti. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, audible. Good morning. Yeah.
Sir, actually, my question is regarding in bioequivalent study and in vitro in vivo correlation.
Okay.
We have two methods like P-conversion technique and conversion method.
Yeah. Okay.
So in conversion method, they propose like we develop the CT profile from the in vitro dissolution data.
Okay.
When compared to the other one where we do the real-time blood profile and from there we compare it with the in vitro dissolution in deconventional method.
Okay.
So this conversion method, can we apply it for when we develop when we have a new formulation from an existing approved drug, when we have a new formulation developed, can we go ahead with the conversion method? Or
basically, I have not worked in those softwares, but there are models specifically available for such kind of thing. In fact, that is what it is meant for, because you do a couple of experiments and then you correlate your because you can't have multiple data on in vivo studies. So hardly 1 or 2 studies you might be doing it, and then you extrapolate the data from dissolution. Of course, I'm not expert on that area, particular area, on especially on this convolution or deconvolution models, because my experience on BE studies as well as your CLAMP studies, which is called as a PK/PD study. So that's, of course, the different model, slightly different model. But I'm not familiar with this kind of you can say quantification models. Again, separate team is there, so they work on that. But naturally, that is one of the key tools to use that. But still, whatever you try, in vitro is in vitro. It gives you a better correlation. I can say better chance of success in BE studies.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So there is a question from chat box. I would like to read for you.
Okay.
What is the current status of implementation of quality by design in product development and in analytical techniques?
See, QBD is being proposed, and of course, separate guidelines, ICS guidelines also available, and it is being implemented. But I don't know exactly for analytical techniques what you do, because in product development, QBD is definitely a must. There are some set of experiments you have to prove that in formulation. But analytical, of course, you do by a different methodology, because here you are not developing a formulation kind of thing, so where this has to be presented. So there you have a different concept in method development and validation from analytical point of view. So that means, for example, when you do with the ruggedness, you know that yes, even if you have a rugged method, that means it is not going to change your basic thing of separation of impurity or quantification. So those kind of things you will do. So mainly key thing is an application of your formulation development. It is being applied, no doubt.
Okay.
There are specific softwares also available. So if you change these parameters, what happens to a dissolution? So what controls they should have during product development as well as during manufacturing. So definitely it is there, already there.
Okay, so thank you, sir. I hope participant got the answer. The next question from chat box is, sir, to enter into pharma industry, other than the qualification, which skills are needed for freshers?
I think this I've answered very well much before, because it's a very vast. It's like, for example, you can't choose only one, and it is not possible to be taught in college also, because there are plenty of sub-specializations. Sub-specialization is one. Other one, non-technical, always you can give overall coaching to all the students at B.Pharm or M.Pharm level. So before they complete it, let's say even how to write your CV or how to present it before the committee, I mean your for interviews. So how to improve your communication skills, And certain things are not like one day process. So it's a continuous process. You have to do it. And there are multiple things which are required, simple things. Because at student level, we don't expect a leadership, you can say quality. The simple thing, what is expected, is be clear in your objectives, what exactly you want to do. And then how good you are in communicating in terms of, you can say, written communication and oral communication. Minimum, it's not that you need to talk too much, but just minimum what is required to communicate. So these are simple things to be done. So these are nothing but, you can say, non-technical skills which are required. So technical means allied skill, you have to be there. For example, when you want to be, let's say you want to apply as an analyst. So you should be familiar with analytical guidelines of every country. Let's say at least major, for example, US FDA and Europe, and let's say local regulations. So what do they say? So have you understood those guidelines very thoroughly? See, for example, for understanding guidelines, you don't need to spend money. In fact, I remember for ICH guidelines, I have to write to Switzerland, get it, wait for a couple of weeks or months to get that ICH guidelines and read. Now, sitting from your mobile nowadays, you get the updates and immediately ICH guidelines updated, you get the alert and you can download the document. So therefore, you can read thoroughly, understand, and clarify from industry colleagues. So for understanding from industry colleagues, you don't need to go to industry. So some of the people who are working in that, you can get in touch with them on the respective level. You can clarify what do they mean, because every sentence is very important. So it is not like sometimes some books you can skip line, it is okay. Because here every word, every line, every specification which is important, which is practically done. So therefore these guidelines are available freely. There is no need of paying anything. So therefore in a particular area, you have to be reading relevant guidelines. For example, when you want to be as a CRA, Clinical Research Associate. So ICH GCP guideline is available free of cost. And CDSO website, Indian government website, you can just see there are multiple guidelines available free. You have plenty of guidelines. So some of the topics can be discussed in the college itself. So that, for example, each week you can give it to one student or maybe two staff. So then they can discuss regarding the guideline. So have partially some industrial colleagues, we can tell from practical point of view and theoretical point of view, you can mix together. So that is ultimate. There is nothing beyond the guideline. A person has to know. Even the expert doesn't know beyond the guideline. So therefore, even at the college level, discussion about each of the guidelines can be very useful, which is available free of cost. Every country website, FDA website, EMA, European Union, or MHRA. So every country guideline is there. It's all free. So therefore, that knowledge definitely you can have it. So therefore, when I ask a question on good clinical practice, one guy knows and another guy doesn't know. Both are from the same college. Whom do I pick? And actually the guy with good clinical practice, at least theoretical knowledge. So theory and practical are not different, it is same. So I'm going to apply in the same way. When he's strong in theory, he's going to do well. So therefore, this is only free of cost. You don't need any facility in the laboratory to do that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, Dr. Vinyas Mahasa. Yes, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Sir, good morning, sir. Myself, Dr. Vinyas. I have a doubt, sir. So I have a few of my friends as doctors. So I will be visiting them and I will be talking to them. So during the prescribing the medicines, we have come across that some of the drugs, some of the brands we did not come across, or we did not come across this. So small scale industry companies, they will write in the prescriptions, and the cost is too high.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the question about?
Sorry, sir. So hello. We work in the laboratories for having good quality of the medicines and everything else. So unfortunately, these companies doesn't do any quality control test, and they have the high charges and they come into the market.
Okay.
So even the doctors as a practitioners, they doesn't know what do you mean by this quality control and what is the HPLC. We do a lot of research and all these things for the bigger companies. For the small scale companies, they doesn't do, but they charge same rate of price for a small company as well as a big company. So I have a question in that. So why can't we come across? Because the big companies should charge more, or these companies should come down. But there is no regulatory on this thing. How to see for one more question, sir. As a layman, I don't know which is the quality one.
Yeah, I think this question was asked by another person also. I don't remember his name.
Yes.
So
Even
that's
the
the practical point
competition.
that when I was talking to some other college also, they were asking, sir, in a village, how the person knows this is of good quality or this is not good quality.
Yes.
So which is a common thing. As a pharmacist, we do not know. So how come
Yes.
you can expect something? So that is where the regulations pitch in. Therefore, they have to follow all the guidelines in manufacture, quality control, distribution, storage, and whatnot. So everything, including the price.
Yes.
So, but again, there are some loopholes. These small things they try to, you can say, beat around the rules. You can't say they violate, but using some loopholes they do that. But still, so it's a continuous process. We are in the evaluation stage. See, for example, from WhatsApp you would have learned for several years ago. So we were importing vaccines, but today 2/3 of the vaccines are from India. We are exporting. So it's a question of time. That means when we are exporting means, can you export bad quality vaccine or drugs? No, it is not possible. So sometimes it is the quality, sometimes it is the documentation. So both are required. In the course of time, these things measure out. It takes time. But whatever points you have said, it is valid. So it is very difficult. It takes time.
Sir, we take much precautions for export a product. We need a lot of regulators and everything. For an importing and for using for a normal public, we doesn't take any kind of such kind of regulations.
No, regulations are there.
Yeah, but
There are a lot of challenges because you see the number of shops, number of samples to be taken. So in fact, periodically, the Control of India publishes one document. I've gone through sometimes. So they take random samples all over the country. But again, India is a huge country. The volume of business which I'm mentioning you. So 25,000 crores roughly. So that's about size. Now, how many samples will you take? Because they take sample, they test it, they publish the results also. And wherever the quality is very bad, so they are taking stringent action. But still, it will catch up. It will take some time. You can see the CDSO website. There, the poor quality is there. They've taken action. It is there. It takes time because big companies, they don't compromise on quality or price. Because there are market forces and which determine. It's not just as simple as we talk about. So therefore, again, the pricing authority is also there. So they have some formulas to keep the price under control. So all those things are there. But of course, everywhere there will be some violators. So it takes course of time to correct it.
Okay. Sir, I have one more doubt, sir, small doubt. So after the graduation, most of the students are just confused to join in the M.Pharmacy in what specialization?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. In fact, for example, some people
confused in joining the specialty. They don't know what is main
which branch to join.
Main course of work they are interested or passionate. So how to know this student that which one is a passionate?
See, in terms of scope, when you see, naturally sometimes it narrows down to, you can say, previously there was a time when people want to enter into only formulation, that is pharmaceutics. Okay. And is it that only formulation department is there in the company? No. Because there are some people who are working in drug discovery and research at leading positions. So now, for example, a person with pharmaceutics, but he's getting very less salary in a small company. So therefore, you cannot compare branch-wise because it is only an overall perception, and it is a trend that way also. What kind of jobs? So recently, people have started. No, I want to join regulatory affairs, so that now only in regulatory affairs there is a good prospect. So this changing dynamics. For example, I remember some 10 to 15 years ago, a person who knows what is clinical trials, knows basics. That's all. Some diploma course you would have undergone. So they were getting as 1 lakh per month salary 10-15 years ago, and later on within few years things changed. So when more people went as a clinical research associate, then the salary dropped. So therefore this keeps on changing. So there is nothing like only one job pays well. So I know some of the analysts in the company 25 years ago. So I was taking around 45-50 lakh salary 25 years ago. Just imagine, only in analytical. So therefore, that way you cannot compare. Only thing is how the student interest is about. For example, some students, they are allergic to chemistry. No, I don't want chemistry. Or some students, they are allergic to handling animals. So it's not that every pharmacology student goes into handling animals. So therefore, there are some doctors who never see patients. For example, even in our research scenario, you see, they never see patients, but they are into clinical research. So you have to understand how the, work is done, carried out, and their interest. So therefore, a lot of changes are there. So therefore, it is not right to compare. This is the only job has a higher salary. This is having lesser salary. No. So one is interest. Even in that, you can be the best. That's what one of the slides I've written. Be the best in that particular area. If you take analysis, you should be the best to develop analytical method, validate it. For example, there are 10 impurities in that. And the shortest runtime, I should be able to quantify all 10 impurities and the principal component. For example, if I'm a formulation scientist, I should be able to develop a formulation in a less time, matching with the innovator, and be a successful be research. So therefore, so the skill set is different. You can't say how to know it. Somehow or the other, you have to choose. So then after choosing it, do the best. That's the only solution we can do. So primarily the person has the interest. Yes, you can choose it. Otherwise, you can choose anything and be the best in that. So that is another approach. So that's how you can do. Because otherwise, as I've told you, there are so many types of jobs available in the industry.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, there is a last question because there are questions keep on coming on YouTube also, but this is the last question I would like to ask you. Okay. You are being an academician and industrialist also. So okay. Can you briefly tell us what is the difference between the academic research and industrial research? Because this is always a gap between academic research and industrial research. So can you just guide us regarding the difference between the academic research and industrial research?
Sure. Yeah. I think it's very difficult. In fact, if you give me time, I would have prepared in a different way actually. So what happens basically when you see research point of view, for example. Now in academic, how do you choose a problem? And in case of industry, how do you choose a problem? So that matters. For example, company has objective. For example, it could be a formulation development. So in this time, you have to do the filing. Okay, so which means you have to work backwards or sometimes forwards on what will be the different stages of planning. For example, how do you make the formulation, develop a formulation one level, then manufacturing the formulation, then testing level, then doing in vitro studies, then in vivo studies, getting bioequivalence, and then make it to file, and then wait for the inspection, and then get the approval. So these are the various stages. This is an example I'm just giving you. This is for a typical ANDA. Now, where do you apply research? At every stage you have to apply research. And of course, resource-wise, there are not much constraints, but in terms of timelines, it is there. For example, a formulation scientist has to develop within a month, means he has to develop, or 2 months, for example, or 6 months also, doesn't matter. But that's fixed. So therefore, research has to go in that angle to deliver, otherwise it derails the whole pipeline. Because the revenues are based upon that, the approvals are based upon that, the filing dates are there. So therefore, every stage you have a timeline restriction. So therefore, when timeline is limited, so companies don't bother about particular, let's say I want to analyze using this column only. I want to analyze using this instrument. So therefore, the resource constraint is not there. Although overall resource constraint is there everywhere, but to achieve certain objectives, company doesn't mind spending money to get the instrument or a column or a reference standard or impurity or anything for that matter. For example, some excipients. Now, in case of the academic research, for example, when you don't get a column, these are some practical examples I'm telling. It may be different from each college to college. For example, particular column is not there, particular reference standard is not there. So what do you do? Or particular instrument is not available. So you postpone it to next semester or something, or next student you give it. So sometimes it stretches for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. It doesn't matter. So this is a key point of change. So what is the difference? So here again, you bother about publishing the article and getting a good impact factor. So here publication is not important at all. So if that is the case, every day you can do a publication. So which doesn't matter at all for industry. So therefore, achieving the goals is more important, not in publication or doing it at different stretched point of time. So we don't have, I can say, luxury of time. So academic, you have the luxury of time. You can do the same research in 6 months, same research in 3 months, or 1 year. It doesn't matter. So that is one of the, you can say, one or two couple of differences between academic and here. So here the problems drive you. There you take up the problem and you're doing it. The problem could be assumption, or after that whether it will apply or not, we don't know. Because sometimes you do for publication, but sometimes does it have a practical industrial applications? Sometimes may not be. So that's why I personally feel, I don't know, I can't do a value judgment. In general, what happens, most of the things are stopped at a particular point, or you do it, but there is no result of it in the practical field. Let's say 10 different projects you do it. So at least one, does it come to execution somewhere, or is it applied somewhere? It makes something better. If it is not applied, then it's of no use. So therefore, what is the best is that you take the problem itself from industry so that it is useful to them with a well-defined timeline. Then you do the actual research. That's how in some Western countries, they take up projects from industries. So therefore, you solve them in a specific time, and therefore they give the money to you. So that is what we were doing at that time. We were doing GSS. These are only typically industrial projects. Theoretical projects are done by somebody, but in our department, we were doing that specifically to the industry. So then what happens? You will get a clear, you can say, handholding of both industry and academic research. This time.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you are the best person to answer because you know the academic research problem and you know the industrial research problem. So thank you very much.
Are you satisfied with the result or the?
Yes, sir. Because that is the experienced answer. What I got it. Thank you very much, sir, for answering the question. Actually, sir, questions are coming in YouTube, but collectively we will mail the questions because time restrictions are there.
No problem. Couple of questions we can take. Anyway, it's a holiday for everybody. Doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can select the questions, best questions. No issue.
Okay, sir. Then one question is from YouTube that what are the challenges you faced when you entered in the industry from the academics? That is, I think, a correlated answer maybe.
Yeah, partially. But again, I mean, one or two sentences I told you. See, like, even if you are not come from industry, in any job, let's say even you are working in the college or you are working in industry, definitely you have to prove yourself. And especially, I didn't have any big brands of company at that time when I entered Aurobindo Pharma. So purely I came from academics. So it is based on certain traits, qualifications, trades, and some feedback. It's not justly they don't give actually, but since my area was specialized in that way, then I got that opportunity. But naturally, when you got it, I have to prove myself. So therefore, in that sense, there's nothing like relaxation. So whether it's a marathon or 100 meters, you can't relax. So therefore, I was running with great speed at that time. So therefore, I was able to do well. And in fact, that was the time where there was an entire shift from, you can say, the generic industry also, there was a boom. So it could be that timing. And where bioequivalence wise, there were only few players in the country to do bioequivalence at that time. Hardly 2-3 players. So we could be the third or fourth player at that time. So therefore, the other traits also helped me to achieve that. And I could keep in that way. So that's why we were able to do. Otherwise, it's not possible. So those are the real challenges. Otherwise, you'll be thrown out. So therefore, when you're under fire, naturally you start working more. So therefore, you show highest efficiency. Therefore, then I became, you can say, I could develop my reputation in that field also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for answering all the queries. Still, whatever the queries are coming in chat box and YouTube, we will collectively mail you, sir. I hope you will take some time to answer the queries.
In chat box.
Now, sir, actually, yes, there and YouTube also. It's live stream on YouTube. So there are queries on YouTube also. 1 or 2 small queries are there. Though answers are already you answered very nicely in all the answers actually. Okay. Actually, today's guest of honor, our chairman, sir, respected chairman, sir, MN Raju, sir, and vice chairman, sir, Shri Ravi Manthana, sir, unable to join this celebration, but they conveyed their best wishes on World Pharmacists Day for all the budding pharmacists as well as all the participant delegates joined through this virtual platform. Thank you very much, MN Raju, sir, and VC, sir, Shri Ravi Manthana, sir, for your best wishes. Now, I request, I think we should conclude the interactive session with Professor Ravi Shankar, sir. Now I request our principal, sir, Dr. B. Alagarsamy, sir, to felicitate the our today's chief guest, Dr. Ravi Shankar sir, principal sir.
Yes, madam. I am on the line.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Saravanan. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Shankar sir, for your valuable speech and time that you spared with all the pharmacists and budding pharmacists. Really, all are inspired with your wonderful words. So thanks a lot for sparing your valuable time. In a short span of time, we have accepted our invitation. Hope in the future we'll have better one webinar type of subjective webinar things, so that more students and participants will be joining and they will be benefited. Kindly accept this certificate and as a resource person and our memento. So we usually, when come to our campus, we give the memorable memento so that you will remember our college name. Kindly accept this memento and certificate, sir. With all our token of love and affection, we are giving this. Kindly accept it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Alagarsamy. In fact, I've forgotten to mention your name. So when they're saying inspiration, in fact, you are the real, you can say, life inspiration to all of your teachers as well as students and all budding pharmacists, based on your achievement and your track record and more human nature, actually, how you are doing it. I'm sure, yes, with your guidance, we'll be doing more. And let me also try to support you in whatever way I can do it. We'll see after COVID, maybe we can visit the college. But as of now, this technology works good, actually. So in a short time, I was able to accept.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We are also looking for our clinical trial center in our hospital. There are much more things coming under our MNR Foundation for Research and Innovation, sir. So
Okay.
we'll be one of the expert. We'll be inviting you to join in this, sir.
Sure. I think you have a pharmacology specialization in your college, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
pharmacology and pharmacy practice, right? So I think they should play a big role in that. Of course, it's a multidisciplinary in process. You can say, of course, not a formulation team, mainly your analytical team, clinical pharmacology, and pharmacy practice. So all are required to do this trials well. Clinical trials, they have.
We'll do it, sir. We'll do it with your eminence guidance. Definitely, we'll do better.
Even quality assurance team also, because you will
Okay,
have
sir. Okay.
the quality control and quality assurance in those your clinical trial process.
Okay, sir. Sure. We'll do it, sir. Sir, one more thing. During the last 1 week, we have celebrated a pharmacovigilance week, sir.
Oh, that is
during
fantastic.
this time. Yes, sir. We have conducted some competitions among the students, like essay competition, e-poster presentation, and video making. So all we have selected some of the prizes. In your presence, we would like to give the e-certificate to all the winners, so that they will be also be happy for their achievements. So Dr. Saravanan will go for the prize distribution. First, we will go for the essay competition. First prize goes to Ms. Rania Ahmed of Pharma D third year. Rania Ahmed of Pharma D third year stood first in the essay competition. So I request Rania to accept it.
Congrats, Rania Ahmed.
One good thing I would like to say, sir, in the history, this student got 100 out of 100 in the university examination.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, great.
So really we got some unique students and faculty who are doing well in the pharmacy. So that is my energy, which make me to work without any tired, sir. So really I feel happy to have such a student. So it is a lifelong time achievement as a teacher. Because,
oh, that's great. Definitely great. Yeah.
Next one is second prize goes to Huma Fatima of Pharma D 5th year. Huma Fatima of Pharma D 5th year.
Congrats, Huma Fatima.
Third prize goes to Bhavana Tundla of second Pharm D. Bhavana.
Congrats, Bhavana. So is there any
Next,
acceptance by the candidate?
Pardon, sir?
Is there any acceptance by the candidate? Are they present or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bhavana is available.
Okay.
No, up to some members can join in Zoom, sir. Other members joining in the YouTube. So they may.
Bhavana is there, sir, in meeting.
So Bhavana, you are there now. You can unmute Dr. Saravanan to Bhavana.
Bhavana, you can unmute yourself and you can talk.
Okay, raised hand means accepted.
Okay,
Is
fine.
it so? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Next.
in the chat box, I'm replying to that.
Okay. Not able to mute. She is unable to mute Dr. Saravanan, it seems.
Given the permission, sir.
Okay. Bhavana, you can unmute. Okay, we'll go for the next one. Video making competition. Afsa Jabin of Pharma D 5th year. Afsa Jabin, are you available?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So is this video making for some pharma related stuff?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pharma, what did Pharma? Dr. Saravanan, do we have that video?
Sir, at present I don't have, sir.
No problem. No issue.
Okay, sir. Okay. Afsa Jabin, kindly accept it. So it's fortunate to have with Dr. Ravishankar sir and taking it. So it's a blessing, sir.
And congrats, Afsa Jabin. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Very much blessed to receive from you.
Congrats. Do well. Yeah.
Next we'll go for the e-poster competition. Again, Aisha Jabin only stood in the e-poster competition also. Aisha Jabin.
Yeah, congrats again, once again. Good.
Next, second prize, Akila Malela of second Pharm D. Akila,
Congrats.
are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, ma, accept it. Next, third prize, Sai Teja. Akirala, Sai Teja.
I think Alagar, you can ask people to clap at least. Yeah, because they can't accept it, but at least we can clap for that. Winners. Congrats, Teja.
Okay, so with this we are concluding, sir. So we will go for the prize distribution completed, sir. We said to go for the Dr. Visakha Madam, you can take over.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us for prize distribution also. Thank you for your time. Now I request Dr. G. Saravanan, Professor at MNR College of Pharmacy, to propose vote of thanks. Dr. Saravanan, sir, over to you.
A superhuman who turned bunch of dangerous chemicals into a life-saving drug. A superhuman who turned bunch of dangerous chemicals into a life-saving drug, who is none other than pharmacists. Happy World Pharmacist Day to all fellow pharmacists. A warm and graceful morning to our most valued honorable chief guest, Dr. S. Ravishankar sir, and guest of honors, Sri Ravivarma Mantena sir, and our beloved principal, Dr. V. Alagarsamy sir, my dear fellow pharmacists, teachers, students, and everyone gathered here. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this World Pharmacist Day celebration successful. I, Dr. G. Saravanan, on behalf of MNR College of Pharmacy and the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to the Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. With His blessings and grace, we are able to make this event what it was. On behalf of my college, I extend a really wholehearted thanks to our chief guest, Dr. S. Ravishankar sir, Vice President, Clinical Pharmacokinetics and Biopharmaceutics, Research and Development Center, Wakad Pharma, Aurangabad, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will be surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. Thank you, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to our Chairman, sir, Sri Amman Raju Garu, and our Vice Chairman, sir, Sri Ravirma Mantena Garu. Even though they are unable to join in the celebrations, they send their blessings and wishes to all pharmacists for their successful career. Thank you, sir. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird's eye for details. A special mention to our respected principal sir and my guru, Dr. V. Alagarsamy sir, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. Thank you, sir. I am immensely thankful to our Vice Principal, Dr. P. Subhash Chandra Bose, and Professor Dr. S. Jayaparagas for their motivation, support, encouragement, and determined work. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation to Professor Dr. Visakha Kulkarni for her efforts towards anchoring her own ideas and elegance of explanation everything. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very proactive and dedicated staff of our institutions who are well versed in their job. I'm short of words for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. With a deep sense of appreciation, I thank all my fellow colleagues for their untiring efforts. I also extend thanks to all the staff members for their enormous cooperations within the organization of this gala event. I would also like to thank the people who worked behind this scene to make this event happen, especially our technical webinar arrangement team. Our sincere gratitude goes to all participants and well-wishers for your rock-solid support system and encouragement. Without your support, we were not able to achieve excellence. Thank you so much for attending this event and making this event a grand success. Finally, I would like to thank our beloved student who made this event most successful. Last but not least, a big thank you to each one of you who made this World Pharmacist Day celebration memorable for all of us. On behalf of MNR College of Pharmacy, let me thank once again, one and all. I am not a doctor, but doctors are incomplete without me. Yes, I am pharmacist. I'm proud to be a pharmacist. Thank you. Visakha madam, your mic is muted.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now I request Dr. Jaiprakash sir for play the national anthem and to conclude the ceremony. Yes, Jaiprakash sir.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you one and all. Thank you for your valuable presence, each and everyone. Thank you for your valuable presence for this occasion of celebration of World Pharmacists Day, and wish you all again a happy World Pharmacists Day. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Really, with your presence, the day was ended. The day is very nice, and we all felt very happy. All our faculty and students. Thank you very much, sir.
Good. Welcome. Wish you all the best to everyone.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Happy Pharmacists Day again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Saravanan, we can sign up.
Yes, thank you, sir.